mean, this keeps your face really warm. This is a nice unit.
And you can experience what it's like to be a blonde for the first time.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're having more fun?
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Just like in the last minute or so?
Yeah. They said it's a blonde beard. No, it's not. It's a yellow beard. This is as yellow as it gets.
That's really funny.
But Pedro now can trust me again, too, because he claims he doesn't trust me without a beard. You like this beard, Pedro?
Why, it's yellow. How can you trust someone with a yellow beard?
You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, those famous Yellowbeard the Pirates really never took off.
You know, it's funny. We'll get to a couple studies that may affect only me, but I'll run them by you here real quick. And we'll start with beards.
Did you see this? I was hoping you saw this crap yesterday.
News out of Australia this morning, and I am never on the cutting edge of anything, but it sounds like I may be in fashion right now. Beards have peaked. The facial hair period is over, according to University of New South Wales in Australia. Women only find beards attractive when they're rare. Now that everybody started having them, and I haven't really noticed, I guess, because I've always had a beard, but they're not. Women aren't as attracted to beards. If it's a selective thing, if 1 in 40 guys have a beard, then all of a sudden it's kind of cool. But if 30 out of 40 guys have a beard, it's you differentiate yourself with some shaving.
That's correct. The title of the article you were reading, Beards Have Hit Their Peak Around Here. For sure that's true. Enough dudes have beards around here. You ain't getting none because you got a scraggly face.
Yeah. It's not, and I've noticed some really, Grizzly Adams style, going back to the Mariners, Dustin Ackley, that dude can grow a beard.
What is up with that?
That's Paul Bunyan-esque, and the guy's hitting almost 300, so I say let it grow.
The Red Sox, hockey has always had this thing where you don't shave during the playoffs. Once the Stanley Cup run starts, hockey teams stop shaving, and the teams that get through and win the cup eventually, they're so best of 5, best of 7 series. These guys all have these Paul Bunyans going. Then it made its way to baseball. Last year, a couple years, the Red Sox won the series, and their beards were just unruly. And I'm watching the Super Bowl. It's funny. I got last weekend. When we were on a little break, I got to watch the Super Bowl on TV, which I hadn't done before because I got to go to the game and missed all the replay coverage, yada, yada, yada. And I noticed Max's Unger's beard. And I guess I'd always known that he had a beard. But when you see a unruly beard kind of trying to be restrained by a chin strap, it's just like, what the freaky goose.
Max became a mountain man, and he's my neighbor. I see him around the neighborhood sometimes, and it's like, dude, that is an impressive beard.
It's a monstrous
he
beard.
was and he did trim it back a little after the Super Bowl, but that was a classic example of, okay, let's just see how much hair I can grow on one face, and he grew a lot.
That doesn't interest me. I don't want to get on that. No, I really don't. I don't want that on my chin. How do you kiss a man who's got a beard like that? I'm being really serious now. I'm asking you guys, but it seems like it's not very thoughtful for your partner.
You got to kind of hold it down with your hands.
Who needs to make extra effort like that?
Bring some seeds for the squirrels and whatnot that are probably living in it.
It's not thoughtful.
Well, Kelly was kind of giving me the hint that maybe I should grow it back yesterday. And
really?
I don't know why, but she was what did she say? She said I looked like it wasn't endearing. Yeah, it wasn't flattering. I forget the word now because I was a little buzzed on the gas.
Back end of a walrus?
No. She said it looked like I looked like a. It wasn't a muffin.
Pretty little girly?
No, it's something about it makes my head look disproportionate. Like I'm too big in the top of my head or something. She says if I wore a hat maybe all the time it would be okay, but I think it accentuates the lack of hair on the rest of my head or something. Because when you have hair down here, at least people might not notice as much.
Right.
You look good in a beard. You do. You wear a beard very well. You don't go all you don't go all mountain man. Joey's right. That's too much. You keep it nicely trimmed, and you look good in a beard.
Right. Well, I did.
You don't look good in this yellow.
Well, yeah, I should take this off.
I'm impressed with your dedication to the cause.
I'll tell you, that is a warm sucker, though. I'm going to use that when I'm out fishing on the river tomorrow. That is really warm.
You excited?
I am. I'm thrilled. I talked to Bill Herzog yesterday, who grew a beard just for the occasion. Now he looks like Grizzly Adams, and we're going to go, if you haven't heard, to a place called Glacier Bear Lodge up in Yakutat, Alaska, and fish for, it's the world's largest run of native steelhead on the planet. And just last week, a guy got a 25-pounder out of there. I put a picture on my Facebook page.
Picture.
Monster, native. I mean, wild fish. These are not hatchery fish. These are creatures that have been doing the same thing for probably thousands of years, and they are wild, untamed, and we'll be, of course, catch and release on this trip.
Are you catch and release?
Yeah, we won't be bringing them back, but there are plenty. And there are also plenty of bears to share them with. This is bear country, big time. Oh yeah, and that's another reason this beard might come in handy. I mean, I think
bears would laugh.
Yeah, I think a bear might go. I'm not sure what that would taste like.
We have not talked about something. I hate to make this about me, or rather about us. But what time are you going to Alaska?
I am going to Alaska. I will not be here at all tomorrow. So I'm getting ready tonight and shipping out. So
well, who's gonna sit in that chair tomorrow morning?
Good question.
Me.
Who should
you?
Okay. You.
Me?
I see your point.
The way it is here, if you're just listening, this is the warm-up show to the Bob Rivers Show, and I sit in Bob's chair, which is kind of the control, the cockpit, I guess you could say, of our radio studio, where I handle the buttons. If you call, and by the way, you can call if you have any input on this, 877-901-0957. If you call, I'm the person who answers the phone and gets you on the air. Who do you think should host if I'm not here, Jody or Spike? 877-901-0957. We've got Jody, we've got Spike, we've got Pedro and Luciana and myself here every morning from 5:30 to 6. But tomorrow I will be gone, so if you have any input on that, 877-901-0957. Do either one of you guys really want to?
No.
No, not really.
Our jobs are vastly easier over here on this side.
Right. Yeah. There's a little bit more to do on this side.
I mean, technically, I don't want to blow my job up here, but I've been getting paid to just kind of like sit around and make fun of people.
Right.
And I don't really do much other than that.
Right.
So, yeah, but that's work over there on that side.
Right. It's a little bit. It's not a lot. I mean, it's a little. Luciana does most of the work in there, and Pedro. I mean, they're the ones that are doing a lot. So.
Well, everybody's voting for Pedro.
No, I vote for Jody. Come on, it has to be you, Jody.
No, I'm voting for you.
You see, can you imagine you looking right? I can look at your eyes from here and say, that's a woman that knows how to hold that chair.
Texter says Pedro should host, and this is totally not Pedro texting in.
I'll tell you.
I don't want to be there.
I'm looking at the text, and it is pretty unanimous.
No,
it's Pedro.
It's contagious to sit on that chair. Then I want to become like Bob, and that's going to be awesome.
You might not ever be able to pry Pedro out. That's true.
Yeah, so no, that's okay. I'm fine on this time. But it could be, I think it could be Spike. I think it should be Spike. I'm changing right away, so I don't.
Well, I like Jody, relish the opportunities we have just to sit back here and lob poop grenades at whatever is being said or being talked about. The one time I got invited to career day at my daughter's school, this is my dad. He makes fun of people for money.
Yeah.
That's how she described what I do, and it was a pretty accurate description.
Well, it's better than how you used to do it when you were younger, which was no money involved.
None
at
right,
all.
Right, I was an amateur coming up through the ranks.
Right. Someone says Spike has seniority, but Jody has boobs, so I guess it'll be Jody.
Yeah, boobs.
Thank you.
Boobs does trump seniority.
Thank you.
In the corporate ladder,
we can have my boobs host. It'll be hilarious.
Done.
You have some experience because you host the midday show after we're done, so you have that credential. Yet Spike hosted Mitch in the Morning Show while we were on vacation. Mitch was out, and Spike did a whole shift of sports radio, which I heard went pretty darn good.
We had a lot of fun. People were very kind in their texting into the show. A couple people, love Mitch, and this is the worst radio I've ever seen. One guy really nailed it. He said, "This is the second worst thing in radio right now." And then he wrote, "The worst thing is you on the other channel playing your best of show." I'm like, "Oh, dude, you really have honed in on the problem today. It's me."
That's
you're
funny.
competing against yourself that morning.
We could rock paper scissors.
We could, but I think that we should just let Pedro do it. I got to be honest with you.
Why don't you guys sit on each other's lap there? Yeah.
And I want a bike and a kite and some roller skates and I want a licorice.
It's done. We left it to the texters, and it is done. See what happens when you leave stuff to the texters,
no,
Pedro?
it's fine. I don't have time for that. So go ahead.
You don't have time for it? You don't have time to do a radio show?
I do, but I have to work on this side. We got
Are you
people
not?
calling.
You're not man enough to handle
Oh, I'm a man.
Spike and I? Is that the problem? You're afraid?
I'm
Yeah,
afraid.
Like a little girl's afraid of
Like
a
a little-
clown?
Don't be afraid.
I do love this suggestion. A half hour of Ragtime Spike hosting, being the host. I don't know if you can keep that up for a half hour.
Oh, my goodness, on radio. I remember the days. Let me tell you, buddy, hey, there's a scare going around. There's some bovine cattle industry going. If you're out there killing a cattle this morning or buying meat from the side of a covered wagon, please be careful. Remember always to scorch your meat before eating. Same thing goes with the hookers that just arrived in town for the gold rush. Please burn your hookers to a 212-degree temperature before any kind of human contact is involved. Radio. I remember the days.
If you think
Coming in to play live, a young boy named Glenn Miller. He has a 72-piece band coming in. We're going to try to get them all into the studio at one time and play a little something they call the A Train.
877-901-0957. If you want to give any quick input on this, you can. And Bud and Gold Bar does. Bud, who should host tomorrow? I'm going to be up fishing in Alaska.
How about Mary White after a new batch of edibles?
We'll have a little tasting at 5:30.
You know, we might could get Mary to stay up to do this show. I don't think we could get her to get up. Mary gave up the mornings a while ago, and we've had her in here a couple times in the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock hour. But
It looks
But
like
even
it looks
if
like a chore.
even if she came in, she wouldn't be the host. We have to have somebody present to be
right,
the host.
and
No outsiders.
Mary never was a host. She was always the sidekick to some great legendary guys, Charlie Brown, Ichabod Kane. I mean, but Mary is not a host, but I do appreciate the sentiment, and I love Mary, and I bet she'll have a nice booth at that CannaCon.
Texter says, "Tell Pedro to find his grande niño pantalones."
Wow, that's a command of the Spanish language.
Big boy pants. I know that one. Yeah.
Well, you know what? The person that really, the one that masters everything in the studio is Luciana. Luciana should sit on the other side, and we can invite some intern to answer the phone.
Oh,
Yeah.
Luciana.
She's a house owner
Are we
now.
talking about sitting only or hosting?
We're talking about hosting and sitting.
Oh, no,
Because
no.
I can sit, but I cannot host.
Oh no! Come
Okay, I sit and
on.
host, and I'm gonna be like Bob. I'm gonna be.
All right.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you're going to
Iron
host
Fist.
tomorrow morning?
Iron
All
Fist.
right.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Iron
I'll
Fist.
say all right,
All right.
when somebody's supposed to.
And I'm gonna cut your mic off right away.
And
like
I'm going to
it's
make the
supposed
laughing noises. Ha ha ha! Clap clap clap.
I'll sit here and go, wah, 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 wah,
Perfect.
wah, wah.
Oh, this is going to be good. So Pedro will be hosting tomorrow.
All right, we got that
I
resolved.
got a better idea. Let's all go with Joe. Let's just all get on a plane and go to Alaska.
And if I get eaten by a bear, does Pedro get to keep the
No.
gig?
No, we'll play this again,
Okay,
yeah.
we'll do it again on Monday. We'll figure it out.
Solid question though.
Yeah. Another sports story we'll get into maybe a little later, but great news for Seahawks fans, or possibly great news. Sidney Rice, he's coming back. So that's going to be a pretty big deal, I think.
So we have to actually issue a retraction when we said last year that he will never wear a Seahawks uniform again.
Yeah. And
After he blew his knee up last year, we figured that's it. He's overpaid. He hasn't been productive. He's not going to be a part of this team. Pete's about budget guys, not spending big until he has to spend big on the big three: Russell Wilson, Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas. But he signed a 1-year deal for a lot less money. Is that what?
and we don't know how much money, and I'm guessing a lot less.
Yeah.
And if he comes in healthy, great. If he doesn't, he may still never wear a Seahawks
Right.
uniform in a game again. I
They
mean,
got like 10 receivers signed for next year.
yeah, Pete's the kind of guy. The best 5 will be the guys on the team. So obviously, Sidney Rice is still going to have to produce, and I hope he does, because that would be awesome. You get a healthy
Yeah.
Percy Harvin, a healthy Sidney Rice
Doug
out there.
Baldwin, Jerome Curse. Yeah,
Right. It
that's-
might be, Golden Tate. You might forget all about how good he was. And I think he'll still be great in Detroit. And I wish he was still a Seahawk.
Me too.
But Sidney Rice or Golden Tate, a healthy Sidney Rice is a lot more helpful to you at 6'4".
Yeah, no kidding. He's that one guy who can go up there and just grab something over somebody's head. That was what we don't have without him.
Yeah, we'll take another. Wow, we got a lot of folks in Gold Bar this morning. Marcia in Gold Bar. Good morning. Welcome to the warm up show.
Good morning. I think we should let Jody do it. The Jody Show.
Oh right.
Jody Show.
Uh-huh.
Yes, Jody.
Oh, thanks, Marsha.
You got an intro already.
Jody
Uh-huh.
Show. This is now the Jody
Uh-huh.
Show. When I'm the
I love the Jody.
All right. Thanks, Marcia, for the vote for the Jody Show.
Oh God, the worst thing I ever did is record that.
I love that.
Never
Here's
go
my
away.
dog, and I never get it. Here's
They're
my
gonna
bird,
play it
and
at
I'm
my
gonna egg it.
green cremation.
Are you going to do a cremation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like where they put you in the roots of a tree and plant you somewhere?
Stick you in the ground
Yeah.
and play that crap from an iPod dock.
Forever. That's
Plugged
solar
in.
powered.
Yeah, solar-powered iPod
Jody
dock.
with an eternal jingle. That's a cool idea.
Oh, crap. That's awesome.
You imagine if you had a headstone that had like an eternal jingle button that you could push and your favorite song would play for mourners. That's solar powered.
Oh, man.
Isn't that cool?
I have to think about what my jingle would be. Probably the Shaft
Jody's
song.
gone, Jody's gone. We all miss Jody. Jody's gone. She was cool and she had a dog and she loved kids and smoked a lot of weed. Jody's gone. Jody's gone. Yeah. We're sad that Jody's gone.
That's fun, though, you know. It's lightning.
Well, whatever is resolved, you won't want to miss the warm-up show tomorrow. I may have to figure out how to get my iHeartRadio fired up there in Yakutat and tune you in.
It's easy to do, bro. That stuff works, man. Our drummer Jeff was in Dallas doing a gig and listened to the whole show every day on iHeartRadio and said it worked like a champ.
Oh, yeah, it works. No doubt in Dallas or any place where you have...
but not bear country, you're worried?
I'm just not
worried about
sure.
the cell coverage in bear
Yeah,
country
I'm
might
not
be a little
sure.
sparse.
I'm not sure if they have a tower up there or not. They
just
probably do.
Climb to the top
looking
of
for
a moose.
fires. Up on the rack.